Alright, this was my attempt at making crab good once again. It used to be so good, but nowadays it is actually one of like the worst units out there, and it's just never really bought anymore and not part of the meta whatsoever. I'm a little bit happy because I think crabs were really annoying the way they were before, but they're just like completely unusable now, so it's a bit too far in the like nerfing direction. It went from like A or S tier all the way down to one of the worst in the game, so it's quite sad to see. Now, instead of gaining 100% of its health, it's just 50%. You have to get it to level 2 in order to get 100%, and then you have to get it to level 3 for 150%. So, in order to make it even somewhat useful, you have to get it to level 2. At level 1, it's just extremely bad. Even, like, I don't know, you can get like a 3-3 crab out there, but that's still not very strong for a tier 2. Anyway, to get this started, though, I decided to go with ladybugs because I figured the way to get the HP on like as much as I can is to go with the ladybug and then like peach and broccoli and stuff like that. So that was kind of my plan going into this. And then there's the crab, perfect. So right now it's a 7-11. It rounds down, which means it's gonna be a 3-5. So pretty weak stats overall. I could consider just like taking peaches all the time, but broccoli is slightly better for the crabs, although the attack on the ladybug is going to be kind of relevant and pretty low for most of this game, but doesn't stop me from giving it melon. And every time I buy food, of course, it gains +2/+2, and those temporary stats do go over to the crab, which is kind of nice. Yeah, sure, just decide to take a peach, and then there is broccoli, which is perfect. And I think I'm just going to buy that. So now it is a 10-20, which means these crabs are 3 10s, and suddenly it's not looking so bad. Like a 3-10, not the worst. I think what would be kind of interesting, now that I'm thinking about it, like I did not go for this, but what I should have done is gone toucan crab, and then not, well, yeah, toucan with bone attack, and then I can put the crabs behind them. And that would be pretty interesting to get just like bone attack on everything. I really should have done that. I was thinking also like later you could go with the splash attack on crabs. So it certainly would have some purposes. But should I just like redo this video? Man, okay, now I'm thinking I gotta show that off because that is much more interesting. It's gonna be kind of hard to set up though to get a toucan and have a bunch of health on the ladybug and actually make it work. Like my attempts at making crab work failed miserably before this attempt right here. So it is still not good. Like the only reason that this kind of worked out, I feel like, was maybe some lucky RNG, lucky matchups, just like going against relatively weak teams. Yeah, I decided to take an apple over broccoli there because the attack is really starting to get down there. It's only at a 725, and that's with the buff. It's really at 5 attack. And the crabs are 312s, which aren't too bad. I mean, for these rounds, it certainly does something. Not in that round. I mean, it really does need like bone attack, doesn't it? But okay, I can get a level 2 crab. Also, I have this clownfish in the shop, so I want to buy this clownfish first, and then I will buy the chocolate, so it gets +4/+4, which really is just 4 attack, but that's pretty nice. And then an early cow is perfect. So with the cow ladybug, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Just massive stats and get all the way to a 1434. And now the crab is going to be a 934, which is actually like somewhat good. Surprisingly, suddenly I have a good team. And look at that. The crab wins me that round. So that's always nice to see. A little bit of a comeback. Salads. I could like sell everything on the board. I don't really need the clownfish, the cow, or the giraffe. And then I could buy salads and guarantee. But instead I decided to buy an apple. I didn't buy the second one because it would have left me with 3 gold, which means I can't really buy anything. But here I can buy a pear, or I could take penguin. Okay, bit interesting. And then for gold efficiency, buying that pear gives +4/+4 for the turn, which is pretty nice. I mean, that's a pretty significant stat bonus. Plus it's going to give +4 health to the crab and make it a 1037. And yeah, I mean, it looks pretty strong, doesn't it? It looks like somewhat of its former self. This level 2 crab is certainly working out. And then there's 2 more crabs right in the shop. I can go ahead and freeze that one. Even sell the giraffe. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's almost like I was playing this game. You know? It's kind of weird. And go with triple crab. Now, it's only level 1, so its health gets cut in half, which means it's only going to be a 518. But that's still pretty solid. Not bad at all. And the skunk hits one of the crabs, but that's kind of fine. The problem is they have super low attack, and man, does Peacock absolutely destroy me there. You don't really see that too often, but the Peacock value is huge. I think part of the problem is I don't think that splash attack was in this pack. I think I made the mistake of not really planning ahead and just did not have splash. And that was kind of a problem because I think these crabs could really benefit from splash attack. I decided by pair. Again, it's 4-4, but even more because the crabs get to benefit. So I think it's worth it over taking a lynx, but who knows. So 1241 crab. And then they get tiger snake out of the orca. So pretty lucky there, but luckily it didn't actually matter. So still looking pretty good. 2 level 2 crabs. There's another pair. I feel like pairs are just going to be buys like every time. And then I'm deciding, okay, Octo seems like a pretty solid last unit. I decide to take the soft ice. It's a food, plus like the crabs benefit quite a bit from the attack. And then if I wanted to, I could combine and get a level 3 crab, which would immediately get 50 health. It's not really worth it at this point. That would gain like plus 6 health. I guess it would gain a little bit of attack too. But got a Vulture team. Luckily, Vulture really isn't that good, I feel like. Maybe if you get like the weakness, the microbe team with it, it's pretty strong. But this specifically counters that pretty hard because we got so much health. So it's perfect. And there is a cow, which is exactly what I want to see. And have the perfect gold amount to buy, sell it. I can milk this guy. It's going to get to 50, but that's good, I guess. A 3150. That is a pretty strong unit. And then double octopus. Just like best tempo options. I guess like I probably should put like Stegosaurus in this pack because that's even better tempo. And then you can see we killed their turkey, which is absolutely massive. Love to see that. And now their team is just fairly weak. And there we go. The crabs are able to save me. Just a whole bunch of extra health. Another chocolate means I can get a level 3 Octo. I think Tiger's in this pack. This is a custom pack. I mean, I probably should have mentioned that beforehand, but yeah. And then none of these units are particularly great. I think I'm just going to end up taking a sushi. Gain that extra +2/+2, plus the +3/+3. And run a 4 squad. Why not? And luckily, they have a weak thing at front, so I get multiple triggers. And look at that. Even though it dies, it still shoots its shots and pops the melon, which was just perfect. And there we go. There's a win with crab. See, it's not that bad. It's not unplayable. Just have to get extremely lucky. And it's still worse than everything else, but, you know, it's worth trying out sometimes. I think it's fun to experiment with the bad things in the game. Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.